My name is Eran Raviv. I'm the Programs and Innovation VP of Appleseeds Academy. Thank you all for being here. I want to start with following what Martin said in the plenary session that we had. I prefer the usage of the term digital poverty over digital divide, and that's for two reasons that relate to one another. The first reason is that digital poverty is an absolute thing, as I see it, and not a relative thing. The second reason was stated by Marty. Digital divide will probably never end. It's a natural thing for a free economy world. And digital poverty, this is something that we could mark for diminishing. What I mean by digital poverty is the combination of lack of ICT access, lack of ICT usage, and lack of ICT impact. What do I mean by impact? I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So, one of the questions that have been asked when talking about digital poverty is, what does digital poverty look like? I mean, we know how poverty looks like, right? But how does digital poverty look like? So, the thing about it is that poverty is something that is current, is tangible, we can see it right now, and digital poverty is something that relates to the future of the people that suffer from digital poverty. So this is the way I see it. Like a glass, ceiling glass, that will avoid you having different opportunities in terms of employability, education, consumerism, health, business, and we've heard in the last 2 days more subjects such as environment that will be limited with not having digital literacy and internet access. In the nonprofit I work in, Appleseeds Academy, we focus on employability and education in changing underserved populations' lives. Some background information about Israel population. So we have 4 groups, and those groups are the ones that digital divide distinctions between those groups. We have 52% Jews, secular Jews. Then we have 22% Arabs, which are the greatest minority in Israel. We have 19% of traditional religious Jews and 7% of ultra-Orthodox Jews. Those two populations are the two populations that suffer mostly of digital divide, and you see they come together to 29%, but by the year of 2050, they'll be the majority in Israel. And that's a very big problem in terms of GDP and Israel's economy if we don't do something about digital poverty among these two communities. How come they now today 29% and in 2050 they'll be the majority? We'll see in a second. So Appleseeds Academy was founded in the year 2000 in order to bridge socioeconomic gaps by diminishing countries' digital divide. We do that by training, delivering digital literacy training, focusing on training that will help people get jobs and help people get better education. We believe these are the two most important factors that will influence the economy. We do that by forming sectorial partnerships, private, public, and non-profits. You can see some of our supporters in this slide. We believe that's the right way to get impact. Snapshot, what I'm going to talk about in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to start telling you about Israel's ICT Index, which is one of our initiatives in the last few years. And then I'm going to dive into 2 case studies of how increasing digital literacy impacts employability and education. So Israel ICT Index is a partnership between
us, Bedex, which is the largest telecommunication company in Israel, and the Center for Inter-Research in University of Haifa with Israel Internet Association. These are like the major players in the digital divide field in Israel. In 2010, where smartphones were starting flourishing, people were starting this discourse about digital divides gone. Hey, many people have smartphones. They all have free education. It was where the Sarah started, and we understood that we need to back our vision with numbers. So we've used TNS DGI data sets of more than 57 million records from 2002 and 2015 about people's behaviors in the internet. And 2 months ago, after 3 years research of University of Haifa, headed by Professor Shezaf Rafaeli, we launched a public website. All data is available for everyone in Hebrew and in English. This is an example of a web page that helps policymakers and decision makers compare their own locality to another locality which is similar to them in terms of usage of computer, internet, and phone. So you're probably asking yourself, what were the questions, the answers to the question we asked? Is there a digital divide, and has the digital divide increased? So the first answer to the first question is a capital yes. There is a digital divide, and it is quite significant among the populations that I've just shown, mainly in our population and ultra-Orthodox religious population. But there is also digital divide between high income and low income. The good news is, comparing ages, the digital divide between people older than 55 and people younger is decreasing throughout the last 15 years. So what we can see here, that in terms of access to internet, the gap has significantly decreased between the year 2005 and 2014, but in terms of usage, which is the basic for impact, we see that it has increased. So we are focusing on helping people better use the internet, better use technology in order to get better education and employability. And I'll now go over to the case studies. The first case study is a project initiated by Microsoft, started in 2006, where we trained around 2,000 unemployed women all over Israel, give them basic digital literacy in order to get employed. This is Tzila. Tzila comes from the ultra-Orthodox community. She's 45 years old. She has 10 kids. That's the reason why by the year of 2050, ultra-Orthodox and Arabs will be more than half of the population in Israel. She knew nothing about computers. After completing our course, she started working in Matrix, which is the largest software company in Israel, for a few years. And then she decided to leave this very good waged job in order to become an instructor in Appleseeds Academy. She's now our best ambassador of stating the importance of digital literacy for her community. So our research included tracking changes of qualitative, vocational, social, and financial metrics of 1,248 women. And these are the results. Comparing the welfare income the women had before starting our course, you could see that there is a 33 income upgrade by finding jobs that relate to technology. 4,100 new Israeli shekels, that's the minimum wage in Israel. And they are getting paid much higher relatively to women who work in jobs that do not relate to technology. More interestingly is the picture of the country. What does the Israeli government gain from this project? So we could see this program costs 1.5 million new Israeli shekels a year, but the government cuts 5.5 million shekels, but by not paying welfare payment for those women, and they get back 2.5 million shekels by their taxes. So for every dollar you invest in this program, you get $6 back. The government gets $6 back. So this is the ROI equation. You invest things. 80 hours of technology training, you cut your welfare payment, you get taxes, and you get increased in earnings. So I have only 2 minutes, so I'm going to run really quickly about the second case study. A partnership between Cisco, USA, Ministry of Science, and Keren Hayesod. A youth movement, 4 years youth movement. The kids are studying Cisco certificates for 4 years. And you can see here the gaps that they enter the program with, coming from periphery localities in Israel. I'll skip the story of Marina. And the results are, in terms of education, they excel much better, and most of them get the matriculation exam reports. In terms of employability, 2/3 of the graduates of NETA, the youth movement, are employed in technological positions, comparing to less than 1/3 of the average populations in their hometowns. And in terms of salary, they are paid more than twice than the average graduate's national average salary. That's because we've invested 600 hours in having digital literacy and technology vocational studies. And the government gets 8,000 shekels every year for every student by paying taxes. So I want to conclude that in Israel, digital divide decreases in terms of access, not changing or increasing in terms of literacy, is associated with age, income, and religion, and we believe that tri-sector partnerships are the key to get impact. I just want to finish with a quote of a person I really admire, John Chapers, the former CEO of Cisco, who said, "There are 2 equalizers in life, the internet and education." Thank you very much.